wait for a few people to get in the chat. You know, we're here. I made it. I wanted to make sure I let everybody know I made it. I didn't tell anybody. I haven't even told my mods that I'm here yet. So I'm going to wait for a few people to jump in the room, and then we'll get started. Just had some oranges, scoped out the area here. I'm exhausted. As you can see, the bags are already, hey Thunder, it's nice to see you. The bags are already starting. I'm exhausted. My handy dandy bed worked last night, but we only had 3 hours of sleep. We didn't drive straight through because it would have brought us here at 5 o'clock in the morning. There was no way. I think by 1 o'clock at night, or 1 o'clock this morning, our putters were done. Like, I'm calling Pam, Pam's calling me. I'm like, I don't think we're making it. And so we ended up stopping at a rest stop, and we just pulled up, and I got these blackout curtains. These things are awesome. They're little magnets. Do you guys see it back here? See this? It's a blackout. Look at that. It's a blackout right there. And so this blackout curtain, that's a lifesaver, because when you go to these like rest stops or like truck stops, right? There's a lot of lights because people sleep there, but they also want it well lit so nothing happens to anybody there. So that's the problem. You got a well lit parking lot, not conducive for sleeping. So you need to improvise. So I got blackout curtains. They actually have some for up here too. I just need one for the front windshield, and I'm good. It's nice to see you. Let's see who was all in chat. Be Betty, Pebbles. It's nice to see you. I made it. I'm in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm literally looking at the Coliseum. We can't stay here, but I'm looking at the Coliseum now, and we're just waiting for the rest of the group to get here, and then we'll figure out where we're going to be we're going to set up and camp at. But there's a lot of little places around here that we can camp out at, and if nothing more, we just pay owners, and owners let us, for businesses, especially it being on the weekend, they're closed. They'll take money. I'll tell you that. Okay. Cash is king in times like this, right? We need a place to crash. we got a group of people. Do you mind if we crash? It's great. It's great. I'm hoping to learn a lot. I will tell you, the purpose of me being here is I go to these rallies anyways because one, I want to support Donald J. Trump for president, but more importantly, I also want to sit here and support the messaging. And right now we have Laken Riley, which is a case that we've covered and we're covering, and I'm going to be covering more in depth and more intimately on Sunday. And I'm here for her. I'm here for her. I want to make sure that people know that we want these borders closed down. We don't want to hear any more of these Rachel Morans and Laken Riley cases. These are preventable cases. This is failed policy that cost some of these people their lives. And this is stuff this was a kind of magnified. This is happening all over our country, has been happening all over our country for a significant number of years. Nobody's been listening. There's been a lot of parents out there that have lost their children at the hands of illegal people coming across our border illegally, and they haven't had a voice. They haven't had a voice. And I think finally, Laken, I think Laken put a spotlight on this issue, this really, really bad and ugly issue that nobody wants to address. And that's about people, dangerous people, coming across our borders illegally and harming us, the American citizens. And I don't want to hear any more Laken Riley. So for this particular trip, this one here is going to be for Laken. I want to be here any opportunity that I have to speak to media, to speak to anybody. We're going to make sure that Laken Riley's name is front and center, at least for me, because she mattered. The fact that she will never be able to help a human being, which is what she wanted to do the most, is help, right? That's why she was becoming a nurse. It takes a very special person. For those beautiful people in my chat right now that are nurses, that it's not about the money. I can guarantee there's not one nurse in my chat that says it's about the pay. You know, they all have their story as to why they're here and why they're there to help and to show comfort to people that are struggling and to try to help save lives, right? It takes a special person. It takes a special kind of person. It takes a special drive. And she had it. She had the it factor. And that's what's so hard and heartbreaking is Laken Riley's case. I want to make sure that she does not die in vain. So for this front row Joe, that's who I'm representing being here this week. You know, I can't wait to see what he wants to say about the border. I know what he's going to say. It's close the border, which it should have been this entire time. So if you guys want to know what I'm doing, this is it. So this is the boring part of these trips. This is where I kind of sit. We kind of collaborate with the people that are currently here. So right now it's just me, Pam, and Charles. So we just collaborate on and talk and talk about strategy, what we're wanting to do, what we're wanting to see, how we're going to be impactful in our communities. And then of course we also have to go and hunt for, you know, do some opposition over here, right? We got to look at their politicians, look at their people. Like every time he comes into town, he's coming into town to represent other people, not just himself, because it takes an army to do what we're trying to do in this country. And I don't know, but I'm here. I'm safe. I'm tired. I think I have some fuel injection issue. Every time I take this thing for a long ride, we have a minor issue, right? The last one was the battery cable came off, right? $75, thank God. I thought it was the starter. I'm like freaking out, stuck in Tennessee. It was a $75 problem. We had the calipers. Remember the calipers? I remember Olivia and Mom and JLR and I running back. You know, I had just changed the ignition coils in this vehicle, and apparently I must have got a dud one. You know, one just went bad. An ignition coil, a brand new ignition coil. Who knew, right? Most of these things, you probably have never changed an ignition coil in your life, and so to change one, right? I changed all four of them. And one failed. I'm like, and I didn't know it because I mean, I'm arguing with myself. My thing's saying that there's something wrong with my ignition coil. I'm arguing with myself saying I just replaced the damn ignition coil. How many times you got to replace these damn things? And we're going back from Tennessee like this. We were up and down the mountains. Go. You want to drive it? I remember looking at him and saying, if we blow the engine, get us back to Florida. That's what I said. We didn't blow the engine. It was an ignition coil. But man, it sounded like the engine was going to go. This trip, not so bad. I stopped off and got some fuel injection cleaner, and I got 2 more. So I'm going to clean up. This is going to have a nice clean and fuel injection by the time I'm done. I got 2 more bottles. So I'm just going to keep, it's got to be pretty gunky. You know, I was reading on it. And apparently for all those people that have their vehicles, apparently you're supposed to be cleaning your fuel injectors like literally every 15,000 miles. Okay. I'm creeping up on 200,000 miles. I think maybe I put fuel injection cleaner in this car when I bought it, right? 5, 6, 7 years ago. I think that's the only time I ever, because it was used. So I did all the maintenance, changed the oil, you know, changed the fluid, put this in there, put that in there, you know, the stuff you do. That was a long time ago. And I can tell you, I've cranked on quite the miles on this vehicle, and I can tell you, I don't think I've been putting any injection cleaner fluid in my car every 15,000 miles. As a matter of fact, I know I haven't. So I'm going to clean out the fuel injections all the way back home. Oh, dump a bottle in, fill it up. When that's done, I'm going to dump another bottle in, fill it up. These things are going to be squeaky clean. And I'm probably going to have a mechanic say, you shouldn't do it that much. Well, you know what? It probably needs it. Okay. I'm going to make an administrative decision and say, if these fuel injectors are supposed to be cleaned every 15,000 miles, my maintenance is a little behind. I don't think the car is going to hate me for it. But we'll see. But that's really it. We're here and I'm kind of excited. I really don't have a whole lot to go over. Other than we're just going to be watching the Lake and Riley case. I'm going to be in Georgia. I'm going to cover Lake and Riley with boots on the ground. Please be injection fuel and has ethanol, alcohol, causes engine to run at higher temperatures. Well, unfortunately, I travel this country. This car runs at a higher temperature than any other car I know. It's literally smoking out here, okay? Kiss my dust. No. Kiss my dust. So here, I'll just show you guys around where we're going to be. Can you guys see? There we go. There you go. So this is going to be the ADA parking tomorrow, right there. And then there's the Coliseum, and right past the porta potties on the other side, that's where we're going to be entering at. That's the parking lot over there. So we're getting some, you know, we have an idea of what we're going to be doing here, where we're going to be going, what we're going to be doing in my bed. I woke up this morning, I was so cold. I was just, right? And I realized, you know, apparently I kick, even in this car, right? Yeah, I toss and turn, I roll like I do in bed, and I always kick my sheets, right, to one side. Anybody else do that? Well, I wake up this morning freezing my tail end off, and I realize I kicked my comforter off. I kicked it on the floor. How do you kick it? There's no place to kick. Like, there's no room. The back seat fits my body. That's it. It fits my body. I don't know how it happened, but apparently it happened. Apparently it happened. Thank goodness for these blackout curtains. Oh, good Lord. Got up and see, this is the great thing about Planet Fitness. If you guys don't know, I'm a proud member of Planet Fitness, and I know you guys have watched me lose a lot of weight, okay? You guys have watched me lose 60 pounds over the last 2 years, right? I didn't do it with the help of Planet Fitness, I will be honest with you. It's called stress, right? Stress. But Planet Fitness, even though I don't go there for a gym, it's great for, you know, I don't know why all the truckers don't do it, because they sit there and have to pay like $14+ to go to a truck stop, to take a shower at a truck stop. I pay $20 a month or $21 a month, and I can literally go all over the United States and have a hot shower anywhere I go, because Planet Fitness is literally every stinking where. So I stay bathed when I'm camping out in the car. My mom's probably freaking out. She hates when I camp out in the car. She hates it. She's a mom. She worries about, you know, danger, you know, stranger danger. I can honestly say I pity the fool that comes knocking on this door. I really do. Like, even though I'm not going to tell all, but I can promise you I'm well armed in this vehicle, and I don't even have my gun with me, okay? I promise you, Ma, I can see you biting your nails. You know me better than anybody else, all right? I wouldn't be the one to, they'd be begging me to let them go. Like, please let me go home to my mommy, please, lady. Just let me go home to my mommy, right? I'm crying. So all funniness set aside, I'm doing good. I was in a safe spot, lots of people around. I had my friend with me. She drove her car, I followed. So we're using the buddy system. She's a mean girl from New York, so I'm good. You know, I'm good. And I'm a mean girl from Florida. Like, you know, that has a bullhorn. I brought the bullhorn, by the way, guys. I brought the snazzy, dazzly, dazzed out bullhorn, because, you know, we gotta rock it out with our coffee beans out. You know, can't come out here without bringing some attention. Because we got some attention to be had. We have Lake and Riley. Lake and Riley is going to be well represented here at this Trump rally. I can guarantee that. I think everybody, even people that didn't think they were going to feel the way that they feel when they look at that young girl and realize this is poor decision making, and you know, we're trusting our most precious cargo, our children, our families, our friends, you know, our aunts, uncles, moms, dads. We're trusting our law enforcement and our government with their lives, their very lives. I mean, we really are. And to be so callous, like even Biden didn't even go to the border. He's never been to the border until just yesterday. The first time out of all of this, after it blows up in his face, he doesn't even show the respect to go down to the border or to close it off. Just to stop. Stop with the political grandstanding that's costing us our lives. Just stop. Didn't even go to the border. Didn't care about the border. Didn't care about the border, not one iota. Not one iota. Takes a nursing student to lose her life, and now all of a sudden he's concerned. I'm sure it was already probably planned prior to. I don't know whether it was or not, but I just find it awfully suspect. That's all. That's all. But you know what? I can tell you that the Front Row Joes have been down there. President Trump has been down there. Elon Musk has been down there. But the president of our United States of America that currently sits and holds office now goes down there. Thank you. Thank you, President Biden. Slow walking everything, aren't you? Even your trip to Eagle Pass. It's cleaned up. You know why it's cleaned up? Because the federal government's out of there. That's why it's cleaned up. You look at the hot mess it is in Arizona and California right now. Why? Because they've got governors that don't give a shit. Close the borders. Stop all this nonsense. You know, let's get some real drug rehabilitation centers set up around this country and let's clean our kids up. That's what I say. Stop the foolishness. But until that day comes, I'll be riding shotgun, y'all. I'll be riding shotgun. So how's everybody doing this Saturday? This is just kind of like a BS session. We're not going to really be talking about. We're just going to be chatting because I got nothing really better to do. I haven't really looked into true crime, nor do I really care to right now because I'm on a totally different mindset. And hey guys, I see the real me too. Guidance, it's nice to see you ladies up in the house today. Trump 2024, baby. Trump 2024. It's just beginning. We saw a couple of Team Trump's members going into the Coliseum a little bit ago. It's Friday. Didn't I say Friday? What did I say? Thursday? TGIF. I thought I said Friday when I came in. Did I say? What did I say? Oh, it's not Saturday. Oh, no, Saturday's when this rally's going on. Saturday, 2 p.m. Oh, for those that are here, that are coming to this rally, if you guys are in Greensboro, North Carolina, and you want to see a Trump rally, please come out. You guys are going to want to get here early. These gates open at 8 a.m. So you're going to want to get here early to get us a parking spot because it's going to be harder and harder as these parking spots fill up. This is a large venue, but we have the East Room, so it's not going to be the 35,000 person arena. So what does that mean? Usually 35,000 people, 10,000 or more people show up here. So we anticipate having people out in the overflow. So if you don't want to be stuck outside and you don't want to be stuck in the overflow section, you're going to want to get here early and get your place in line, bring your chairs. You're going to be sitting for a while. I think the gates open at noon and Donald Trump speaks at 2. If you see me or you see somebody in this kind of this kind of jersey, if you have questions when you're out there, grab one of them and ask them. They're very helpful. Just remember to bring your chair. Don't cut in front of people's lines, and do not run inside the venue. Okay, there are do's and don'ts, and don't be a jerk. Don't be rude, and be kind and help people. ADA always goes first. Don't run them over. Simple rules that people sometimes just can't seem to follow. So hopefully this will always be a great rally. If you guys want to come out, if you see me, come by and say hi and get a selfie with me. Come by and say hi and get a selfie with me. So I think that's really it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, B. Betty. I can't post anything up here. Lar fam. Then obviously you do. You're here, right? If you didn't care, why are you watching? You sound like an oxymoron. This is definitely not the show for you because we have kind of these things called brain cells upstairs. But God bless you. You know, it's Sunday's coming. Maybe you can come to church with us. Maybe you can get some God in you. Quit being so damn nasty. God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. Betty, they confirm Maddie is dead. No body yet. Well, I figured as much. I mean, the guy's from Disney. You know, he worked at Disney. He had images on his phone. This was not looking good. It looked like he had been abusing that young girl, and her mom was none the wiser. And it just breaks my heart. And this is what I ask everybody. We all have blended families. I know that when I married my husband, it came stocked with 2 daughters and a grandchild. You know, we all have blended families. And it could very easily have been anybody in our family, anybody, you know, when you blend families, you don't know, you know, the family as well as you may know your significant other or whatnot. You weren't raised with them. So my suggestion is, you know, we're seeing a lot of this pedophilia type of actions from people in our society. I don't know what has caused this to explode the way it has, but it has. And we have to take precautions. So we, as the public, when we see a young person having an interaction with somebody that looks a little odd, don't just keep your mouth shut. Maybe you should say, hey, is everything okay for you, right? Don't be rude, but maybe just check on their ability, you know, their health and well-being. That's one thing we can do in the public. Another thing we can do in our home is if we do have these blended families, and even though we love our significant other, let's put our opinion aside. And let's make sure that our children have an open door policy, that if something is going on, that you believe that your child, you believe anything that they say, and that if anything's going on in their life, no matter how big or small it is, to come see you and talk to you about it, and always be beyond reproach, especially in those ages of the kids, you know, 11, 12, 13, impressionable, grooming age. We need to start taking some additional precautions and making sure our children know and are comfortable speaking to us about these uncomfortable topics. I don't know how to do it. It's not something, it's a part that I skipped. You know, my stepdaughter was already having babies. When I married her father, I only had my grandkids. I didn't go through this with them. You know, we're just now getting to the age where Holly's getting to this age, you know, so it's like, I don't know. But I definitely think that you need to trust your gut. And if you feel something ain't right, ask your child, and always make sure that they're comfortable, and never shame them when they're talking about uncomfortable stuff. Even if they are liars, and even if they've lied in the past, you need to take something, because just because they lied in the past doesn't mean they're lying about this. And don't just automatically assume because they've lied in the past that they're lying about this. Always look into the allegations. Always don't do the investigation yourself. Always reach out to law enforcement. Find out for sure. Is it going on? Is it not going on? You know, just don't blow up your whole life. But if you hear allegations, somebody needs to investigate those allegations, and you, in my opinion, are not an investigative body. You don't know what you're doing. Any parent doesn't know what they're doing. We think we do, but we don't. Leave it to the investigators. Call any and all allegations of abuse into your local law enforcement, period. That's what you need to do. I think that's it. I think that's about it, all I have for that. So, not too much to see over here, and I think looks like we're all getting, looks like we got a few lined up already, so once the rest of the crew gets here, we'll figure out where we're gonna be going for the evening. Yeah. I just, it's sad. I didn't know Maddie. I didn't see her case. I know that she was missing. I was trying to get out there, but there was just no way with this trip that I could go out to Tampa and come back home and try to pack and get on the road to get here. So I had to skip Maddie. I was going to get her on the way back because I'm going right through Orlando, or close to Orlando on the way back, but we'll see where the case is at that time because I am definitely going over to the University of Georgia. So once this is over Saturday, tomorrow around 2, I'll be heading off to Georgia, and I'll stay the night or night or two in Georgia, and then I'll head back and hit Orlando on the way back and see, what's going on with her case. But I heard about it. I received the Amber Alert. It gave me all of the weird vibes that we had in Audrey Cunningham. And I think I said that to you guys, is that this is really like an Audrey Cunningham case. And it has me sick to my stomach. But, these kids, they don't go too far, right? It's either land or sea. Really, those are it, land and sea. So where is she? And it angers me. And I just keep wondering, you never want to blame the mom, because the mom, from what law enforcement said, really just didn't know. She had no clue, and I can't even imagine being blindsided like this. But her daughter wanted to run away. I guess it's kind of hard because I feel bad for the mom, and I don't want to victim shame or have any type of victim shaming at all in a situation like this, especially in light that she had no clue about what was going on right under her nose. And we hear about that happening all the time. This is kind of how it's done. This is the gift the predator has about keeping that child in control, keeping control of that child to make sure that they're not leaking information. So I can kind of understand that, but it's just really sad because I just wish Maddie would have just told her mom what was going on. And I really believe, I see her mom, and her mom, I feel like her mom would have believed her. All she had to do was just speak. So we just need to make sure our children know that they can be, comfortable enough to speak. Hey, love it. It's nice to see you all here. But that's all I really had. I just wanted to chit chat with you guys for a little bit. I was on the other channel, and I haven't even gone on live on TikTok yet. I don't like going live on TikTok unless I make a video, and I haven't had time to make a video, so I haven't gone on TikTok. So you guys are my first stop, and I wanted to make sure I told you all that hi, I made it, and I love you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great day. I wish I had more. I'm just not true criming right now. I'm in a political mindset, so really the only thing I have anything to say on in this regard is Laken Riley. And I keep throwing Rachel Morin back up in this because there's just a piece in me that's just not settled with this guy in the Laken Riley case. It's not settled in me. Like, I feel like this could really be the guy that hurt Rachel Morin. And it just infuriates me because us little people, we rely on bigger things like mainstream media, like, the Fox Newses, the News Nations. We rely on them to get to the bottom of this and get these questions answered. And they're not doing it. No, I haven't heard any mainstream media bring up the potential connection. I mean, let's go through the connections that Rachel Morin and Laken Riley's case have in common. They were both Hispanic males between 20 and 30, okay? They were both on running trails when they were attacked. It is perceived that they were both seen or watched prior to their attack, so that means they most likely had the same type of schedule. They were both attacked on a running trail in broad daylight. They were both assaulted, AR'd, and bludgeoned. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. Then, you take the facial features as well as the haircut. And it just makes me say, I really want to know. I just want them to say his DNA doesn't match. You know, I don't want to be beating a dead horse on something that doesn't matter. But there's so much there that it makes you wonder. I really want to know. I wish somebody in mainstream media would reach out to Harford County or to whoever is dealing with the investigation of Lakin and find out if the DNA has been submitted for Rachel Morin's case. Seriously, like, I'd like just somebody saying that they got it, that they are asking the questions. So maybe it needs to be left to social media. Maybe somebody from social media needs to reach out. I don't have the ability to do that right now at this moment in time, but if somebody wants to, I want to know if Harford County has been looking at the Lakin Riley case and if there's any possible connection. I mean, the guy was just in New York in September, 30 to 45 days after Rachel Morin was bludgeoned. I think there might be something there. I don't know. And that might be explain how he was able to go from one side of the country to the other side of the country. Maybe it was courtesy of our immigration department, moving him around. I don't know. Might be something we need to look into. And even if it's not Rachel Morin, maybe this is something we need to look into, because who's being shuffled around the country right now? Again, that's the reason why I'm here representing here at the Front Row Joes and Trump, you know, as a Front Row Joe here at the Trump rally. It's going to be Lakin Riley. That needs to be the dog whistle of everybody on this campaign, because we need to close the borders. They're not safe the way they are. And I hope everybody, at least whether you're on the right or left, understand that how dangerous keeping our border wide open is. And I hope you guys are seeing it front and center. And I hope you're wanting to join and unify on this talking point and say it needs to be closed down, because you know what? It could be any of our families. It could be any of our children. It can be any of our grandchildren. I mean, literally, we're playing Russian roulette with our border. I'm not willing to risk my life or your life for a political talking point. There's a reason why we have our countries. There's a reason why we have our policies. There's a reason why we have our borders. And there's a reason why we have policies that say if you're going to come in here, you need to do it the right way. All right, guys, I got to run. So it was nice chatting with you. Hopefully we'll chat soon. But I got to go. Talk to you guys later.